welcome to Cable Plus Property, your #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed properties. My name is Oiza and it's so good to be here. At Cable Plus Property, our aim is to ensure that all Nigerians and non-Nigerians have at the tip of your finger every information related to land and landed properties. We provide you with all that you need to know about getting your landed property registered, obtaining your planning permits, land acquisition, documentation, and everything pertaining to land and landed properties. In this video, I'll be having an exciting and insightful session with a past chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, Lagos State Chapter from the year 2005 to 2007. No other than Town Planner Yusuf. Sulaimon, come with me. Okay, as the past state chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, sir, do you think, should the government make planning as a social service or as a revenue generating service? I'd like to take your honest opinion on that.
Yes, I think the issue is this. Planning should be seen as a social service. One, planning on its own is very restrictive. You have your land, and I will tell you that, okay, this land you have, you can only use 50% of the land for your development. The remaining 50% should be left open for green, for other services within your compound. You said, I bought this land for 50 million. How will I now use 50% of it? So it's restrictive. So people on their own, they want to maximize the use of their land. And so because it's restrictive, there must be something that will give to them back, that will soften their heart and imbibe in total planning and make them comply. And what are some of the things we can do as government? Government can ensure that the fee payable on those applications are minimal and affordable.
Can you tell how much it is at the moment?
I don't know, but from what the information I gathered, it's appears the rate is higher now. So government should look at it and make it affordable to the people. If it is affordable, it will attract more people to come, because the fear outside there now is that the rate is high. And for those who are struggling, they may not want to come to register their plan for approval. And that's not good for government. It's not good for our environment either, because such people will go to the site and build. Say, I don't have money to go and submit for government now. They say I should come and pay XX naira. No. That money can buy 20 bags of cement, can buy 1 garment of this. That's their thinking.
There's so much in a hurry to get this house built.
So these are issues. So for me, I would say government should minimize, make it social, service. Government need money to do so many things we're talking about. But then for planning area, they should look at it as social and then focus on other areas for the real money that will enable government to drive the activities of government. Because when you look at it, there are issues in the environment now. There are some development that are illegal, okay? And you penalize them to pay. If you penalize them to pay, the issue is that at a later date, the investment the government will do, the cost will be higher than the money you are collecting on the penalty now. Because they will be needing much more better infrastructure. They will be needing a lot of services. The pressure will continue to be there. Pressure over density. So government should have a rethink in that direction so that the environment can be better off and they can channel the revenue they are getting into a more, into new areas, to build new areas, to build new facilities, and for the betterment of the population.
So apart from making the fee lesser, is there any other way you think the government can meet the needs of people via planning? Especially, planning permit submission and all.
The issue is that there's that need for advocacy. People need to be enlightened, informed, and it's going to be on a daily basis. It's not once in 1 year. No, at the local government level, at the wards level, they have to take planning to that level. Meet the CDAs, talk to them about planning, talk to them about the plan for that area, so that the buy-in of the people can be secured. And that will enable people on their own too to volunteer information to government. When they see something wrong, they say something. And then you encourage them by making sure you act on them. That's the feedback system. So I think that way a lot can be achieved.
Thank you, sir. So the only planning activity that the public is aware of is majorly enforcing laws, planning laws and regulations. So would you please explain, in layman's language, like they say, to the public, to our viewers, what other planning activities that people see but they don't know?
They don't have. That's true. What is feasible to them is the development control aspect of planning. And it's just an arm of planning, Before you can do development control, there must be a plan, standard that you are controlling, towards. There must be a plan. So the development plan are prepared by planners in the ministry. Okay? We talk about various development plans the other time. The master plan, the regional plan, the district plan. All these plans are prepared to guide development in the state. Planners prepare them, whether in the ministry or the consultant. At times, the government gave some of these projects to the consultant too. Most of them are done by consultant. So, for public to appreciate planning, when you look at new creations, let's look at the Abuja city. That's totally a new creation. That is where you will see planning functioning
at full force.
At full force, because it was built right from scratch. The road networks that are there, the drainages were there, all the parks were well established, the greenery is functioning, the road network, the connectivity, everything, the office space, the residential, all these were well coordinated and they were functioning very well. The city is living. Okay? When there is harmony in the distribution of all those facilities, the city will be living very well. The health will be improved. And then the standard of living of people also will be better off. That's a good area. Then when you look at our environment here, you see so many well-structured estates coming up. These are the handiwork of planning. Okay? Look at the beautiful estates of Chevron. When you see them, you say, oh, this is beautiful. That's planning for you. Okay? And then along our roads, each day we look at our environment. Look at the new rail they're doing now in Lagos State. The red line, the green line, the yellow, all these things, first and foremost, are the handiwork of the planners. On the state regional plan, the area for the rail will have been structured. And that's where they follow. So when it's implemented, you see it. You will not see planning there, but you should know that it started from planning. If it has not been identified on the regional plan, it will not be there. The regional roads, the coastal roads, all that are very essential for effective living in Lagos State, they are the handiwork of planners. So when you look a good example, another good example, you will discover that in the last few years, we started having big commercial outlets, ShopRite, Spar, coming up. You know, all within our 60 still. You know, these are planning at work. Okay, so the people should not see the marking, the molecule, you know, the red mark as the only activities of town plan. We do more than that. It's just a part of it. And if people are disciplined, the red mark will reduce. You know, let's follow the law. That will be my sincere advice. Let's follow the regulation, the law, and then those red marking will reduce. Let's patronize qualified professionals, engage them when you are doing your your building processing, your construction processing. Engage qualified professionals, and we can have all this red marking reduced. You know, so I think that's the area that is very important, and which professionals should catch on.
Okay, a very interesting question. What do you think are the possible causes of building collapse, and who should be held responsible?
Well, I think a lot have been said about building collapse, but the fact remains, just like I was mentioning, that a lot is involved in the construction process. We talk about approval. People must have the approval, and in collecting your approval, due diligence has to be done. You know, the relevant professionals that are supposed to be involved must have to do their job very well, and the approving officer agency too must critically look at all submission before they grant approval. And then the aspect that really brings the collapse into being is the construction aspect of it. You know, like my guy would say, a building doesn't collapse on paper. It's only when people are translating it into its form that we have issues. And those issues are not supposed to occur at all if we allow professionals to do their work. You are a developer, yes, you have money, you are an investor. You are not an engineer, you are not a builder, you are not a mechanical engineer. Engage those who are qualified and give it to them. Let them do their work. Then you sit. Yours is to provide them with all the materials they need, anything they need, provide them for them, and then watch from far. Give them the full hand to do their job. The moment you engage qualified, experienced professional.
No influence.
No interference. Then people can do their work very well. And if there are going to be issues, they will be minimal. Because aside from engaging them, from the government side too, they also will do the stage certification. You know, so on the part of government, more people should be put on the job to be able to do that. Once we're able to do that, the collapse issue will be minimally reduced, will be properly reduced, and we'll just have few cases within our environment.
So are you in any way shifting the blame to the developer of the building if a building collapses?
Except if a building collapses, there must be a way to check through. Because it's a process. It's not magic. That's why I advise that you ensure that you have qualified professionals. You have a qualified builder involved, qualified architect, qualified engineers, structural engineers. And once all those ones are there, you know, the issue of collapse will be minimal.
Is it likely to happen at all? And what if it happens? I mean, every professional involved, but something still goes wrong and the building collapses.
Look, everything boils down to the fact that whatever we do, there must be proper documentation. Each day you work on site, you document what you are doing. all your material, you document them. You have information of them. You go and test your material, test this, test that, result, tie them together. If there's going to be problem, you have opportunity to go back into what you have, stored, document, and see where we went wrong, so that you can learn from it. It doesn't mean that when everything you have an engineer qualify everything, something cannot. There can still be issues, but it will be minimized. It can be detected on time, and necessary amendment put in place, so that we couldn't have the total collapse that we have in now. That's embarrassing everyone. No. Okay. So everybody must play its own part very well. The developer has a role. The consultants have a role to play. The monitoring team, they have a role to play. Everybody must work, together, to achieve the best for the environment. And you just make sure we do the right thing at the right time. Once the right thing first, don't postpone it. And that's will give us a better, environment for everybody.
And less cases.
And less.
So, what is your advice to developers, landowners, and land speculators in terms of safety during construction and land acquisition?
Safety. Well, safety is important. It's part of the planning standards that are set in there, even when you get in your approval. And like I said initially, I said planning is restrictive. I want to build a house. I want to put on 6 floors there. You are on airport part where the plane will be flying. You can't go 4 floors. You can only be bungalow. And I said, I've spent so much on land. That's not the issue. Before you buy your land, you must do your search. Before you buy your land, proper search must be done, investigation. You give a brief to those who are searching for your land. I want a land. I want to build 4 floors. From those briefs, they will start looking for which area you can build your 4 floors. You don't buy a land finished, and then you now come back and say you want 4 floors by all means. It can't be by all means. You have to follow the scheme for that area. That's why development plans are there to guide you. And so, these are where you started having problems. So, the issue is, before you commit yourself to buying land, do thorough investigation. And then you won't get into that problem. Again, people build on high tension. That is dangerous. Everybody knows now. But for those who are under the tension now, for you to ask them to move out of that place now, people are not ready to move. Unless government is ready to really work hard on them, they will not move on their own.
How can government help such people who have apparently made a mistake and, like they say, the deed has been done?
Well, government is for the people, and so I'm sure no government wants its people to be outside there without homeless. So government has a way to do it. Start thinking about giving them alternative land elsewhere to resettle them, to make things soft for them. Government can do that. I know a lot of development are right under the high tension there, which is not good. And if you look at the law, the urban regional planning law, development law, it has stated what should be the distance between your house and the NEPA line, between your house and the lagoon or the ocean. The ocean is 250 meters. And just for the safety of yourself as a person who wants to live in that house, and for the safety of your investment, so that water doesn't just come and take away all the building. You are lucky you are not, swept along with it. So all these setbacks are meant for a purpose to safeguard the people themselves and their investment. So people must be advised to abide with all the setbacks. They are there to protect their interests and their investment. Okay. So each time you have any land abutting a gas line, you should know that you have to abide with the setback that is marked by government, probably about 120 meters when you are building on pipeline. And so you have to leave that gap away so that even if there are going to be any issue, you will be safe. Okay? So
as we round up, sir, I would like to say something about the Cable Plus property endeavor, and can you give some advice?
Cable property, I think you're doing marvelously well.
Thank you.
It's a new area you are venturing into, a new area that has been begging for attention. And I can see that you go places. It's my wish and prayer that you forge ahead, you don't look back, and then look at the possibility of also involving the people who are involved in building materials, those who give us our building materials, the people who are making the iron rods, our roofs, cement. Get them involved. Call them to come and tell the people what is the assurance they are giving us in terms of this, the quality of their product. And now, what are they doing to ensure that imitations, okay, are not allowed to spoil the market. Adulterated products are not allowed to filter into the market. And how can people detect adulterated products?
And if you look at it, this can also contribute to the cases of building collapse.
Oh, definitely. Substandard building materials. So if you have an opportunity to invite them, let them be part of this crusade, so that they themselves also will feel concerned and they can reach out to people and then let people know how can they detect adulterated material. And if they detected them, how can they get back to them to inform them, those who are themselves the owner of such product. I know for now the avenue that was open, that is still open, is that when you buy things that are substantial, take them to laboratory. Once they say, oh, sorry, it's not the right thing, it ends up there. It's supposed not to end up there. It's supposed to know who are the producer of these substandard materials. It shouldn't be just investor wasting the money. They should trace the supplier, trace the production, and see how they can talk to such companies to build up the quality, not necessarily closing them down. If they need assistance, government can give to them, because all these materials are needed. So you have an opportunity to bring them up. They have a role to play, and they can salvage a lot of things when people hear from them directly, because for now a lot of things is happening in the building industry in terms of those materials. You never know whether even they are smuggled into the country at that substantial level or what. Are we making those substandard material here? These are questions that requires an answer. So I believe we should get them involved, let them come up to the Cable Plus and tell the public, and then things can move better. I'm sure it can be better.
Yes, it can.
It can be better.
Thank you very much, sir, for being on the show. It was quite an insightful session with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for spotting on us and giving us the opportunity to reach out to the public. We hope with all hands on deck, we can get a better environment, we can get a quality living environment, and the aspiration is better life of living for all. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay.
And yes, we rounded off with town planner Yusuf Sulaimon, and you'd agree with me that it's like no other. Don't forget to head on to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cable Plus Property. Click the subscribe button just down below, like the video, share with friends and family, and also head on to other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and follow us at Cable Plus Property. My name is Oiza, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.